This video is going to talk about making predictions. There was a pizza store that took a sample of people and found out that 52% of people like pepperoni pizza. The pizza store is expecting a big sale tomorrow. There are going to be 3,000 people who they expect to come in and order some pizza. The pizza company wants to know, how do we figure out how many pepperoni pizzas we should expect to make? To figure this problem out, you need to use a proportion. 52% would be the same thing as 52 out of 100, because percent means out of 100. That means that for every 100 people, 52 of them would want pepperoni pizza. But what happens when there are 3,000 people? How many people will want pizza then? To solve this problem, we're going to cross multiply and divide. 52 times 3,000 is the first thing we're going to do. Two times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. Done with the 2. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. Add that up and we get 156,000. So, we know that 52 times 3,000 is 156,000. We still have this 100 that we have to divide by. So, because there are 2 zeros on the 100, we can cross those 2 off, cross these 2 off, and we know that we can expect 1,560 people to order pizza. Sometimes, however, when you divide, you will not get a whole number. Let's say that 12% of a certain sample like pineapple pizza. The pizza company wants to know what happens if we have 192 people come in for lunch. Percent means out of 100, so we turn that 12% into 12 out of 100. There are 192 people total, so we're going to put that number on the bottom, and we don't know what number goes on top, so we put a variable. We're going to cross multiply. So again, we're going to show our work off to the side here. 192 times 12. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 1 plus 2 is 3. Done with the 2. Now we're just multiplying by 1. Add these up and we get 2,304. Now, we can't just cross off zeros here because it doesn't end in zeros. But we know that when we divide by 100, we just move the decimal as many spots to the left as there are zeros. So, the decimal's here and there are 1, 2 zeros, we can move the decimal 1, 2 times. So we end up with 23.04 people. Now, I've never seen 0.04 of a person. So what we would do in this situation is we would round to the nearest person. In this case, pretty simple. 0 is not strong, so we would be able to guess that 23 people would like pineapple pizza. Sometimes you don't have extra information to help you predict something. For example, if we were to roll a standard number cube, we want to know how many times would we roll a 2 if we rolled 30 times. Remember, our goal is to get a 2. Here's our little die. To figure this out, first we need to know what are the chances of rolling a 2 in general. Well, there are 6 sides to a standard number die, and there's only one 2, so our chance is 1 out of 6. But we don't want to know about just rolling one time. We want to know about rolling 30 times. So to figure out how many times we would get a 2 if we rolled 30 times, we're going to put the number 30 in the denominator, because this says you'd have to roll 6 times, and in theory you'd get a 2 once. This says if we roll 30 times, we'd get a 2, well, we don't know how many times, so let's cross multiply. 30 times 1 is just 30, and then divide by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So if we rolled the number cube 30 times, we could expect to get a 2 5 times. Let's look at one more. We're going to talk about that same number cube. What would happen if we wanted to roll an even number? And we were going to roll 54 times. First, we need to look at how many options do we have in front of us. There are 6 sides to a standard number cube, but there's no option that says even on it. So we have to figure out from all 6 of the options which ones are even. Well, 2 and 4 and 6 are even. So we have 3 options out of 6 which are going to be even. We can also reduce that and say 1 out of 2 options are going to be even. So for every 2 options, 1 of them will be even. But we don't want to know about 1/2 or 3/6. We want to know about what happens when we roll the die 54 times. How many times could we expect to get an even number? So I'm going to use my reduced fraction because reduced fractions are easier to work with. If I roll a total of 54 times, how many times could I expect to get an even number? Well, we're going to cross multiply and divide again. 54 times 1 is 54. 2, that 2 is left over, so we have to divide by 2. 2 goes into 5 twice. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Nothing left over. So we could expect to get an even number 27 times out of 54.